What is happening, Dolphins fans? And welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate with your host, El Capitan. Tonight on the tailgate party that never seems to stop, we're going to talk about the buzz right now. We had the preseason game, lackluster performance from the quarterbacks, and Dolphins fans unanimously clamoring for a certain someone to come back and us to clear out the backup quarterbacks in here. We're going to talk about who that certain someone is. Also, we're going to talk about the O-line depth because somebody got traded today on the O-line on a team, and we'll get into all that. And I think the Dolphins should have jumped in on this opportunity. And we're going to discuss where their head is at with this interior on the O-line. Guys, on your way in, hit the like button if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you hear podcasts, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Well, no, you're obviously listening on YouTube. Come to YouTube. Go to TFTG Network. Check out all the great stuff we have at TFTG Network, merchandise, everything like that, tftgnetwork.com. And come over to YouTube, subscribe, like, become part of the community and the family, become a member, support the channel, all that good stuff. And let's get right into it.
Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30. This is the dynamic Hill. He's in for 6. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown.
Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and f*** all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off, it's these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve it now. It's only worth it if you work for it.
Yes, welcome again to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. Again, with your host, El Capitan. Hit the like button on the way in, guys, here on YouTube. Let's get into this stuff, right? Not the worst performance in the preseason thus far from backup quarterbacks, and we'll talk about that a little bit later because a game that just ended, you know what, I'm just going to say it. Trey Lance is horrible, is terrible. He's the worst. It's got to go down as the biggest bust of all time. Trey Lance, as you guys know, the 49ers traded in 3 first-round draft picks to move up and grab Trey Lance, and he just never translated for their team. Brock Purdy, I think he was 7th. I don't even know, right? Like, non-existent in the draft class, ends up getting the job over him. And, first of all, before we talk about Trey Lance, how about the Niners, right? 3 first-round draft picks, go up and get a quarterback, bust. That would cripple any other organization, right? It would absolutely destroy them for years and years to come. But here they are, a year, this past season in the Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, Patrick Mahomes is crazy good, so that's why they lost. But still, I mean, it's got to be recognized that this organization is so well run with John Lynch and Shanahan that they're able to stay competitive after making an absolute terrible calculated assessment of Trey Lance. With that being said, Trey Lance played in this preseason game against the Rams, in which he went 25 of 41 for 188 yards with 44 yards rushing. And to boot, they had 4 turnovers in that game. 4. That means the Rams gave them the ball 4 extra times, and they still couldn't beat them. They could only muster 12 points. It's an embarrassment to Trey Lance, and they end up losing. in the final seconds, I thought the game was over, yada, yada, yada. We sit there and I'm thinking the game's cooked. There's like 17 seconds left. And what happens? Stetson Bennett sidearms a touchdown pass to win the game 13-12. So to pontificate, to put a nice little pin in the Trey Lance saga of how terrible this guy is, to not score any touchdowns on 41 passing attempts. He's garbage. Guy's trash. Shout out to everybody in here in chat, on YouTube and the live stream. Chef Zhu, friend of the show, ambassador of the program. What's up, Chef Zhu? Followed up by Flava J, the homie, the guy, member in the house. What's up, Flava J? Raphael in here as well. Miss Eccentric Gnome, what's happening? Raul says, can we please cut White and Skylar soon? Bring back Tannehill. And that's what we're going to get into here directly. John Featherland in the house, telling everybody to hit the like button. Please, guys, if you're watching, hit the like button, please. Dolphineer in the hood. 72 Undefeated says, too much of a threat to Tua. We've seen Tua with competition. Pro Bowl, not great. That's an interesting argument, and we'll peel back the layers of that here directly. Tua side, a.k.a. Michael K. in the house, member in here. Yo, El Crapitan, what's up, buddy? Wartime, what's up, Wartime 561? What is good, dog? I'm from the 561 myself, as you know. Finn's take with CB83. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that guy is. What's up? What's up, CB? Marino's Goat in here. What's going on, Marino's Goat? Greg Neal. Hello, Greg. Make sure you're hitting the like button. He says, hell yeah, Tannehill is an option. I still have the jersey. Hey, nothing like would he take his same number back, right? No, he can't, because Jalen Waddle wears his number now. So David Iglesias, what's up, David? Salute. And everybody, yeah, smash the like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, be here when we go live. I want to get back to 72's comment here saying too much of a threat to Tua. Now, let's get into that, right? There could be an argument to be made. What's up, Mountie? I see you in here, Dow. There can be an argument to be made that Tua thrives better in a controlled environment where there's not someone bearing down on his job, right? That being said, could a Ryan Tannehill come in here and really compete with Tua Tagovailoa at this juncture? Been with the offense going on a couple years now, third year in the offense, has chemistry with the weapons. Ryan Tannehill is a professional, and since leaving the Dolphins had far way better success than he did here in Miami. He had great success with the Titans, coming up short, but is that attributed to Derrick Henry, the weapons? And let's not act like Tannehill is brand new. And if Tannehill was so good, why is he still available? Right? Plus, and I see Paul Greisen here saying, yeah, dude, the guy's got a mega deal. Like, to me, you could bring in anybody you want. You could draft a rookie. I'm getting paid. I know I'm the starter. There's no way, unless Tua is absolutely terrible at his job in comparison to a rookie or Ryan Tannehill, that he would push Tua out the way. Is it unfathomable? No, it is a possibility. We live in a universe of multiple possibilities. To think that it's a likelihood, not so much, right? we got to really think about what's the situation for the Dolphins. And I'm here. Okay. Is Ryan Tannehill being suggested to the Miami Dolphins as a purely hate Tua agenda? I'm wondering about this, right? I'm really wondering because I mean, look, we're married now with Tua Tagovailoa. What we gave him the promise ring, and now we're married. We've bought a house, we bought a car. We're expecting. You know what I'm saying? He's got all the money and control of the finances, and for the foreseeable future, we have hitched our wagon to Tua Tagovailoa. But on that same flip side, are you telling me that you're still in the DMs of your ex, Ryan Tannehill? Is that what's going on here? Is that what we're doing now? Is that I don't know. I mean, I see the logic, right? I see the logic because Skylar Thompson, up until that, after that interception, he was looking rough, right? And after the interception, there was a lot of drop passes. Mike White, I don't want to. I'm over Mike White. I was over him when we got him personally. And I remember when we got Mike White and kept Skylar Thompson, and people in the fan base, myself included, was not opposed to bringing in competition for Tua. Because that's what I think you need to do, right? Everybody else has got to compete, but you could bring in a number 1 overall draft pick corner. I'm talking first pick in the draft corner, and put him on the Miami Dolphins. Best corner to come out. Everybody, oh my God, Miami knocks out of the park. Would anyone in this fan base go, oh, he's going to take Ramsey's job? No, nobody would say that. They'd be like, oh man, can't wait till he's right next to Ramsey. Anybody else behind Ramsey is in trouble. Right? Now, I get it. There's more than one corner on there, but it's just weird. There's depth in all position groups, and there's even depth in a quarterback group. But for some weird reason, we're not allowed to have competition in the quarterback room. Now, when I was younger and watching it a little bit, I understood that, hey, you're paying a quarterback big money. No need to bring in competition for that quarterback because you have the answer. What I would like to bring in is a guy to be, competing, obviously, but a backup. But when have we had our answer around here in Miami? Back when we had Dan? Right? Only until now do I think we actually have a perceptive answer. Now, that could fall by the wayside in the next year or 2 or 3, and we could go, wow, we made a mistake signing Tua. But as of this moment, I don't think that's the case. So let's think about it here. What's up, everybody coming in chat? Hit the like button, please. Here's the other part of that coin. Is it hate from the people wanting to bring Tua in? And then on the flip side, those that fear Tua having competition, that Ryan Tannehill could show him up. Because to me, if you brought Ryan Tannehill in, he's got no shot to show Tua up at all. But the Dolphins, for far too long, since losing Dan Marino, has missed every single chance and opportunity to have a quarterback and have real competition. Going back to when we drafted Ryan Tannehill and Matt Moore was beloved. And, I mean, listen, I thought Ryan Tannehill should have sat and Matt Moore should have started. And it was painfully apparent that they were going to push Matt Moore aside and give the job to Ryan Tannehill. And let's face it, nothing earned, nothing given and not earned is ever worth it, right? And to illustrate that point, when Ryan Tannehill left to Tennessee, he was the backup to Marcus Mariota and beat him out eventually for poor play with Marcus Mariota and won the starting job and was a better quarterback for it. See what I'm saying? Could he do that here in Miami? I would say the likelihood is not. But if you guys are diehard Tua fans and you're scared of competition or scared of having someone behind Tua for the sole fact that, he's our starter, let's not act like this last season wasn't his first year of being fully healthy. I mean, that's the facts. That's the facts. And I don't, I don't foresee any reason to believe that trend isn't going to continue outside of the concussions, which that still worries me, but we've paid him. I like him. It's our dude, right? But we gotta protect the football team. We can't allow one guy to go down and that's it. We're done. Tyreek Hill goes down for the season. The season ain't over. Tua Tagovailoa goes down for the season's kind of over. And that is a fact, right? But a scenario on Ali's show last night was talked about. Shout out to Ali, who's hanging in the back. If you want to come up anytime, Ali, it's cool. If not, I can solo it. It's no worries. But, what if the Dolphins are 9-1 after week 10? What if it's week 11 and they're 10-1 and Tua goes down and he's going to be down for, X amount of time, but might make it back to the playoffs, right? We're in no situation to, hope that Skylar Thompson can get it done. We got to go ahead and just do what's right for the football team and get somebody in there that can get us into the playoffs. That could, be an option to stay competitive throughout the playoffs till Tua potentially could come back from said injury. Right? I mean, Ali, thanks for coming up, but am I wrong here? Because I know there's plenty of people. No Tannehill, no nobody, right? Like, I don't like that. That's
I don't know if Tannehill is the answer, but there's evidence that our backups are so bad that even in the role of a backup, just to be clear for people in the audience, the backup is not a permanent solution if your first starter quarterback goes down. He is just there for an interim period of time to be a Band-Aid until you get what would be your long-term solution for the rest of the season, right? But our backups are so bad that I think the Tannehill talk really is an overreaction because of it. That's just my opinion, because let's be real. I don't think Tannehill, even on his best day, can even hold Tua's coffee when Tua's on the field. He can't even hold his water bottle, bro. This guy, no. Tannehill, in my opinion, is so overhyped. And even the people that were fans of him, because I was a fan at one point, they're blinded to the reality of what type of quarterback he is and what he'll actually bring. Do I think he could be a okay, decent backup? Yeah, I think he can do better than the two guys we have, to be honest. But beyond that, that's all he is a backup. Even if Tua were to go down, I don't see Tannehill being the long-term solution for the rest of the season, right? I see Tannehill just being the backup, which I expect him to be, right? To hold us for a game or two until that long-term person is brought in. That's just my opinion.
Agreed. And listen, here's the thing, right? One of the main jobs of a backup is to help the starter. And that's being the eyes on the sidelines, telling him what he thinks. Also getting, helping out the backup dudes to stay on top. Like, there's a lot of details that have to go into being a backup. I don't think Mike White or Skylar Thompson are doing any of that stuff for Tua. If anything, Tua is probably having to coach these guys up, for lack of a better example. To me, at least at the very minimum, Ryan Tannehill as a backup can come in with a little bit of long-term tenured wisdom of the league. You know what I'm saying? Understanding the coaches, understanding stuff like that. I don't know if I would consider Ryan Tannehill a cerebral guy, but
Not at all.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? But again, here's the thing. Tua is paid the big bucks. I mean, he's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL per capita, making $53 million a year. He's on lock, stock, and barrel with the contract and the money that he's getting guaranteed over the next 3 seasons, no matter what. Tannehill, 3 years from now, will not be in the NFL. Book it, okay? So for all these people that are scared, because that's what it is, you're scared to have a guy that fans could potentially fall in love with and clamor for if Tua plays poorly. And me, I don't think there's any amount of clamoring that could happen by the fans that would waver the coaching staff's decision to keep Tua in over whoever, right? So to me, it's got to be, I don't know. Now, if it's a financial thing and Tannehill wants X amount of money and it's cheaper, I'm cool with something like that. I'm also cool with drafting a quarterback next year in, one of these middle rounds. That's a guy you can, has the attributes, a little bit of raw, has some talent that can be brought up in this system over the next couple of years to be a solid backup. You know what I'm saying? A guy. But there also is something to say
here. I don't mean to interrupt you, but Jose Valdez has a point. Tua was the most sacked quarterback during his tenure here. So if we're going to
Tannehill, you mean Tannehill was, yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. He might have PTSD to come here. You know what I'm saying? That might be true. He might not want to be it's the fans across social media are clamoring to bring Tannehill back because he's a free agent, to get rid of the backup quarterbacks because of how poorly they've played. So that's why we're addressing it, right? And for those that no Tannehill, stop it. Quit being a crybaby.
I do think in the long term, I think that Miami needs to bring in quarterbacks in every draft. Yeah, I think we do. Like that 6th and 7th round, one of those picks has to be a quarterback every year. I think that's the only way you're really going to develop your backups without having to continuously spend money or make trades and whatnot. For this season, though, we really need to be all in. The Miami Dolphins have made a lot of moves that kind of suggest that they're all in.
This is a 3-year window for sure.
And what I'll say, I mean, with the exception of maybe one position, which is the guard position, in my opinion, that's really the only position outside of the backup quarterback position that is kind of concerning. Everything else, we have players, we have made investments, we have depth. I feel very confident. It's just the backup quarterback position. We do need to do something. And I think that if you bring in Tannehill, I'm not afraid of it. You mentioned it earlier, and I made comment in private chat that you said that it's said that when we bring in competition for Tua, that he's going to falter because of the competition. But I would argue that I don't think he's ever seen competition, to be honest.
Well, I would say in Alabama he did, and he beat out
Alabama, but we're talking about here with this tenure with the Dolphins.
Well, the Miami Dolphins have consistently never brought competition in when they draft a quarterback, which I think has been a failure of the organization for some time. And they need to me, right? Like next year's Joe Milton. That's a guy you bring in the 4th round, right? A guy that falls, has athleticism, has some arm strength, and can you mold him in this system? At the very, very minimum, right, with drafting guys, you find a way to take a third, fourth, fifth, sixth round pick guy, and in limited action with the preseason and maybe some relief time and some, banged up Tua games that has to come in, you could then flip that guy for a second round pick or higher. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be some market trading going on here. You get something low, you invest in it low with low money, you build it up over time and then flip it, right? There's got to be a little bit of that going on as well. And I just in the years to come with Tua under this massive deal that's going to keep him here, I expect the Dolphins to start bucking that trend that they've been on about drafting quarterbacks while one's under contract. Because right now, if Tua goes down, the season is shot. It's shot. And I get it. That's typically the case when you're paying a guy an assload of money. But don't do that. Just don't. Let's go ahead. Let's, I don't think anything can be done. And I personally am not interested in signing Ryan Tannehill right now because I don't think he makes a much difference between him and Skylar Thompson and or Mike White. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a game and a half difference over a 10-game sample size, let's say. But
I mean, you're not in any rush to do that right now. You don't need to be rushed. We have money, so money really is not really a concern at this point. In addition to that, there's options out there. I mean, there's options in the sense you look at. We could, if Tua, I'm knocking on wood, this doesn't happen. But let's say he goes down, you could go get what's his name? What's his face from the Rams? The guy that we always thought we were going to get way back when, anyways. Jimmy G. You could trade for Jimmy G. You could trade for. I could argue that that Seattle it still doesn't really know what their long-term solution at quarterback is. They have a guy named Sam Howell that they brought in. We could trade for him. You know what I mean? There's options out there that we could still take advantage of to. Sorry, my kid's crying here.
Yeah, go ahead. I got you, dog.
Actually, to do something, we don't have to necessarily pay Ryan Tannehill. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you. And you said something there that's going to get us to our next point when you say trade. And shout out to everybody again in chat. Hit the like button. Shib Army in here. Jermaine, Hog Wild Fishing, Mighty Zane. What's happening? Jose, EM. I seen creeping around in here. Black Boy. All right, what's good? Hit the like button. Everybody, Raul, what's good? Hit the like button, guys. So let's now pivot to the next point of conversation. Talk about trade, right? And there was a trade done today that I don't know. I've got concerns about the center position. I've got concerns at the guard positions. Now I get it that in the preseason sample size, you heard me yesterday say I liked what I seen. And to me, Butch Berry being around here, if he says he's good, I got to take him at his word because homie is killing it, the O-line coach. But damn, Jose killed you, Ali. He goes, Ali, even your kid doesn't want to hear this Tannehill BS. Got you, dog. Anyhow, so a trade happened, and this is going to be two topics on this. Center Nick Harris was traded out of Seattle. He was traded back to the Browns where he was originally playing. They traded him and a 7th round pick for the Browns' 6th round pick in next year's draft. And as I sit here with a offseason signing in Aaron Brewer, who is still listed, having some kind of injury. I know it's on his hand. I think everybody says it's his thumb. I don't know. Who gives a shit, right? The guy has had nicked up early in camp. He's nicked up now later in camp. I'm not feeling it. I haven't been feeling the Aaron Brewer center offseason signing since the jump. Now, could I be wrong? Could he start? Could he play all 17 games and be dominant? Maybe, right? I got it. Dang, EM blocked you on Twitter, probably deservingly so. Honestly, I don't blame him. My point is that how in such a low, 7th, 6th round swap were the Dolphins not in on this? How did we not go get this guy? And another thing begs the question too. Seattle trading away a center. I don't know what their depth chart is right now, but Connor Williams was signed to Seattle. Is Connor Williams' timetable much further along now at this point? Is Connor Williams going to be the starter in Seattle? And if he is, did we miss a massive? I think he signed for like $3 million. How did we not go get him? Screw making the trade for this guy. $6 million. So $6 million.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got?
Nothing.
35 million right now.
I agree. It was nothing.
I mean, what the hell, dude? How did we not go get Connor Williams, who has obviously taken Nick Harris's job at the minimum at this point? Why isn't Connor Williams here? Why did we let this happen? Why? We know Connor Williams. We know he's good. I know Drew Rosenhaus, who represents him, has said multiple times that Connor wants to be back in Miami. Why did we make this happen? I'm going to be pissed if I'm looking at Seattle with Connor Williams under center being back to what he was before the injury. I'm going to be pissed.
Let's also not forget, El Cap, that prior to him being really injured, he wanted top dollar. And
that's true.
If you look
if
you look at our philosophy of offensive line, we're playing money ball, right?
Yeah.
Whereas everybody else is on, hey, I got a black card. Let me go ahead and skyrocket my bill. That's what they're doing. And with us, we're playing money ball. We're, making really low budget, players play above their means. And I don't think they want to move away from that philosophy. So even if you brought him back, let's say he gets back to where he was, what's going to stop him from asking for that top dollar again?
I mean, in a 1 year sample size, I don't really give a damn, right? $6 million 1 year. I'll figure it out next year. I get it that Aaron Brewer is going to be here, up to like 3 years, I guess. I don't know. But, I mean, dang, dog. What's up, Tone? Hit the like button, dog. Checking in from New York. Salute, buddy. Why, how we finna not have to do that? Like, I don't see how if Connor Williams is going to play this year and us having, I don't want to say injury problems with Aaron Brewer, but I don't have a lot of faith in the guy personally that it's going to work out in the end. Like we found our next Connor Williams where he's been the good center, right? Like I don't see that, or I could be wrong. But an insurance policy of a $6 million of a Connor Williams, a guy to have backing him up, would have been nice. I mean, damn, Connor Williams just played guard. Could have had him out there as guard.
Let me ask this question, El Cap, because this theory came up in a discussion that I was in, and I don't know how you feel about it. I don't think there's much to this theory, and I kind of feel like it's not even an issue, but I just curious. If you notice the teams that he was closely linked to after, when he said he would, he was going to be able to play and, he started getting linked to teams. Did you notice they were all northern teams? It was like Chicago, Seattle, and there was another northern team that he was linked to. There's people are trying to tell me that he has an issue with the Miami Heat. Is that real? Do you think that's real at all? I mean,
I'll tell you what, if that's the case, then screw him. Like, quit being a bitch, dog. Like, for real. Are you serious?
I thought about it. He played in Texas with Dallas, but then again, Dallas plays indoors, so it's different. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if that's a thing.
What's up, Jess? I see you in chat. Hey. Yeah, you know what? I hadn't heard that. If that's the case, then good riddance, dog. Right? Like, but I don't know. I mean, after all the surgeries, I would imagine that cold weather hurt more than that South Florida heat, right?
Yeah, I would agree with it. I don't know. I just don't. If he really wanted to be here, he would have found a way to make it work, even with getting paid. So that's why I don't
That's the thing.
understand.
He didn't get paid. It's not big money. And
Yeah.
here's the thing, dude. Like, the Dolphins were out on him. Drew Rosenhaus said it. He's like, Dolphins, signed Brewer. They're done. They went and signed him. Now, I get it. It was significantly earlier on in the free agent process, but let's not act like the guy didn't sit there up until what, like 3-4 weeks ago when he signed with Seattle. Like, I don't know, man. Again, when I see a trade from a center out of the team that he just signed up to, I look at two missed opportunities. One, getting Connor Williams back here as a backup and or a guard. Who's to say he couldn't be one of the guards? That's number one. Number two, the center that got traded out, Nick Harris. Why didn't we go get that? Now, I do wonder about this. Now, one of the guys that we let go, Ireland Brown, was a mini camp invitee. He got let go. But a guy I seen playing center in the preseason game, Andrew Meyer. He played a lot in that preseason game. That's the UTEP guy. He's 6'3", almost 300 pounds. He played a lot and played well. Again, preseason football, right? He's not going up against the top tier tackles, obviously. But I'm going to be watching Andrew Meyer, a guy that I had off my radar to making the 53-man roster. I looked at him as a guy that would be a practice squad thing. But with the concerns I have about Aaron Brewer at center, durability concerns and all that stuff, the Dolphins have to be thinking to themselves they need to have depth. We do know Liam Eichenberg is the depth piece at center. We know that. But I don't know. Like, if Liam Eichenberg is your starting left guard or right guard or whatever he's slotted at in the depth chart, are you really going to slide him over and be down to your now rather than having one player be the backup guy in the game, now you've got the backup center and the backup left or right guard. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where we're going to end up when it comes to this, but there's got to be some sort of method to madness. Like, I don't know. Again, I'm not privy to everything that goes on. We're privy to a lot around here, but I don't know what people are thinking, right? Like, my psychic skills don't work. I gotta, I don't know, eat more mushrooms or something to get those back. But just an interesting turn of events, really, with this center situation and Connor Williams and, what is really going on in this mud. And I don't know, Ali, I talked about this earlier. Trey Lance, probably the worst, probably going to go down in history as the biggest bust of all time, right? Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I mean, DeMarcus Russell, to be honest, was one of the biggest busts. But
didn't cost 3 first-round picks, though, to get him.
True. That's pretty true.
The 3 first-round picks.
Damn, dude.
To get a guy that can't even get a touchdown in a fucking he can't even break 200 yards on 41 attempts, dude. Like, what a bum. And I remember looking at him and thinking, yeah, he's got talent, but I don't see how he's a first rounder, right? Everybody thought he was going to be the next Josh Allen, that small school, big arm, got mobility. He's going to translate. Nothing.
Look,
dude.
Just
Garbage.
to be clear, because CB83 does make a point that all the backup QBs,
TD, who's TD83?
Anyway, that's besides the point. But the what I want to make clear is that backup quarterbacks are not going to be generally as good as your starter, right? It's not going to be in comparison.
That sounds like some stuff TD83 would say right there, dog.
However, and this is the big however, is the fact that your backup quarterback, when he's playing against third and fourth stringers, he should be able to put something together. That's where I'm at. And our backup quarterbacks, didn't seem to be able to do that. You know what I mean? And that, for me, that's my biggest concern. So I'm still in the thought process that we do need to look at bringing somebody else in as a backup. I don't know if it's Ryan Tannehill. I don't know. I wouldn't go as far as him, but we got to look at somebody. That's basically where I'm at.
Look, whatever. I don't really care. The thing that sucks is that with two backup quarterbacks and both not taking the backup job in preseason one, it's I gotta think that dude, I don't want to carry 3 quarterbacks on my roster. That's really what it comes down to me. Bottom line. To me, I value. I know you don't have to, but the Dolphins have the last couple of years, and I don't want that.
No. You know the new rule, though, right? Your third quarterback doesn't count towards your 53.
He does at the 53-man roster cuts. It does.
I don't think so, dude. I thought
it definitely does, because if you look at the 53-man roster last year, there was 3 quarterbacks on that 53. That means 50 other players makes 48, because 47. One's a long snapper, one's a kicker, and one's a punter. So 48 or 47 players left have to make up your football team. And to me, that one extra guy is the Storm Duck, right? That one extra guy is Patrick McMorris or Marcus May. Like,
that's a true point.
You see what I'm saying? Like, this is super. That one extra guy could be Chris Brooks, that I'm going to have fucking Skylar Thompson and or Mike White as the third quarterback. Guys that are never going to see the field. God willing. That's where my brain is at when I'm being critical of everything. That I got to think about other position groups that one dude is so good that he's not going to clear waivers. Somebody is going to pick him up. And I'm going to lose a talented player on my football team for Mike fucking White? No, I'm not doing that. I say get rid of them both. Go get somebody else. Go call up Nick Foles' ass and see if he'll come here or something like that. I would rather that be the case where I know I got a decent backup, even though it might push Tua amongst the fans, you pussies. And whatever. I don't give a damn, because I need that 53rd roster spot for one of these other position groups. I just went through a whole thing about how I'm so concerned with center depth, right? Give me a backup center for that 53rd roster spot. Give me the backup safety. Give me the sussing, right?
I'm sorry, that's messed up, Jose.
Jose is on one right now. He's on your neck, fucking Ali. Jose in chat over here on YouTube is on your neck.
Trust me, I don't want Ryan Tannehill either, man. I think there's other options, to be honest. But we do need to make a move. I don't think he's the answer.
Dead ass. If Patrick McMorris doesn't make the 53 and Mike White does, I'm gonna flip this fucking table, dog. I'm gonna flip this. I'm like, what the hell?
Especially if he puts out the same performance for the next 2 preseason games, bro, I'm sorry. There's no question he has to be on the roster.
I'll tell you what the Dolphins should do, right? Carry one quarterback on your 53-man roster, Tua, and take those other 2 spots that you had counted for quarterbacks last year and keep Patrick McMorris and Storm Duck. Fuck them, right? Or somebody else. I don't know. That's what I think we should do. Get him up out of here. The Skylar Thompson experiment. Listen, Skylar's got a live arm. In a pro-style offense, pushing the ball down the field and trying to find, guys in the second level or dudes in the flat, I think he's really good at that. I think he has a little bit of a velocity control problem. But in a timing-based speed, Mike McDaniel's schemed offense, he hasn't been performing the way we need this to perform. It looks to me as if we would have to adjust play calling for that quarterback, and that is pointless to me. It's pointless. It hasn't translated. Now maybe preseason game 2 will show differently, right? But I'm not going to want to see Skylar Thompson come in the third quarter against the backups, guys that aren't going to make rosters in the NFL, and torch them and think to myself, oh, well, maybe Skylar's the guy. Now, Skylar comes in the first half and has a whole new rebirth and puts up 300 yards in the first half, 3 tutties. All right. But as of right now, Skylar's on my shit list. Mike White, you're so shitty. I don't even put you on my list, bro. That's the facts. Mike White is not on the football team to me. And I don't hate the guy, you know what I'm saying? But I would rather give that spot to a young guy in a position group that I need depth in. That's how I look at it. It's a business transaction. It's a serve me first as a fan, as a football organization. We can't be worried about people's feelings. And there's way too many of you out here all up in your feels crying about this, crying about that. Y'all fucking stupid, bro. Y'all dumb. Y'all be watching that TD83 too much, all up in his feelings, sitting there ready to have a tear roll down his face and shit while he's talking about Tua. I wish he was my dad. I know you, bro. Let's get out of here. So that's it. That's all I got, dog. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, man.
103-47, and we dissing Skylar. If Tua didn't score those 47 points in the last 3 games, where would we be? What the fuck he talking about, Ali? I'm missing what G's putting down. G, love you, bud. Are you talking about we got outscored 103-47 in the last 3 games? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure. I think he's talking about the score differential.
Jose Valdez says Skynet just like Terminator 2 has been disconnected and eliminated. I would say instead of eliminated, you should have put terminated, right? Yeah, I see that, G, right? Again, sure. Last 3 games in a bad sample size, your point is there. Do I think Skylar Thompson would have come in and put up better numbers than Tua? No, not right now. No, I don't think so. I don't. Not in this offense. If the Dolphins had pivoted and was doing a pro-style offense that was more in the likings of a guy like Skylar Thompson, maybe. But that's just not what we're doing around here, bro. It's not. And it's a symphony of football. And I don't really like it, to be honest with you guys. I am not a fan of finesse football teams. I'm not a fan of, all this, we're going to outthink everybody and throw in these tight windows and zone and, force them into zone coverage and have them stack the line for the run game, in which case then opens up the pass game. I get it, right? That all sounds fine and dandy until the other team has a superstar safety or a superstar linebacker that's just cracking heads all over the middle of the field. Then all that shit goes right out the fucking window. It does. And it usually shows up at the end of the season when those guys are still hitting as hard as they were week 1, and your guys have been hit the last 12, 14 weeks again and again and again, and it's just a little too sore, right? It's just a little bit too much to take that type of beating. So because of that, I've never been a big fan of finesse football teams, but for better or for worse, that's what we got now. That's what we are. And in a finesse football team type of thing, with the short pass game and the run game and stuff, you then get opportunities. You find matchups on the outside that you like with safety not over the top or shaded to the wrong side. And you're like, Waddle's got homie over there that's playing inside leverage. If Waddle hits him on this double move and I see the back of the CB, I already know that I see CB 83's back turned to Waddle out there on the boundary. I know that safety ain't going to be able to come across the field in time if I air this bitch out 30 yards down the field, and he's going to catch it. So there is those opportunities, but all in all, look, I don't know, bro. Whatever. Whatever. That's all I give dude. Whatever. Y'all could sit here with your love for finesse football. Give me good old fashioned clanging and banging, dude. Cracking domes. It's like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the motherfucking mouth, bro. That's how I feel about football. All that shit is flashy, spreading the ball out, you're dicing them up, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You start clacking fools, everybody gets a little bit less. You like that hat, Jimmy? I've had this for a minute now, dog. It's a good one. Richard says, how about Zach Wilson after he gets cut? Actually, that wouldn't be the worst scenario, right? I don't really like Zach Wilson. I don't really like his game. But as far as can they make him a system quarterback as a backup to Tua, I can see how that could fit, right? I don't know. Is Zach Wilson smart enough to figure it out? Yeah. I'll tell you what, he could take a beating. I've seen him take a beating out there, bro. I don't know. Colin, what's good, guy? Squid Game Colin. What do you think Patrick Mahomes playing in a preseason game already, El Cap? I was shook. I think I don't know, man. I guess that's the Chiefs way, right? Which is kind of illustrating the point I just made about teams being tough rather than being finesse. Patrick Mahomes, who played throughout the entirety of the playoffs, didn't have a first-round bye, won the Super Bowl, had, literally the most time spent last year, the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes playing football than any team. That includes the Niners. They had a first-round bye. Is playing in the first preseason game. That should tell you everything you need to know about the difference between the Dolphins finesse football team and veteran rest days and trying to protect players' health versus to health be damned, be tougher. And I'm not thinking that they don't care about player health in Kansas City, but toughness is priority. And this is football. Toughness should be priority. It should be. That's it. Toughness should be the priority. Nothing else. Execution, obviously, but toughness, bro. It's a gladiator warrior. It is the modern day gladiator. We gotta be the meanest team. Just go back and watch old fucking Ravens, Ray Lewis out there with Ed Reed. They would take the spirit out of teams, bro. The Dolphins took the spirit out of a couple teams last year with that high-flying offense. But I haven't seen the Dolphins take the spirit out of another team on physicality since I can't remember when. I can't. I maybe there was some times. I don't know if it was a physicality that Brian Flores' defense had on people. I think it was more just a shock and awe that a bunch of dudes nobody knew was kicking your ass at times, scoring points on you. But we need a physicality to this football team. We do. That's what we need, bro. That's what we need, Ali. That's what I think. We haven't since Zach, Scorpion Stings. We haven't had a physicality since Zach left the building. And we kind of had it. We had a little bit with Jason Taylor, but not like when we had Jason and Zach together, right? Zach Thomas just put the fear of God in motherfuckers in the middle of the field, bro. Where's that at?
I agree with bringing the physicality back. We do need it back. I don't want to say that it's not back yet because there's players that we haven't seen play yet. And I think they're going to bring some of that physicality you're looking for back, to be honest. But I do agree that on the offensive line, I need to see more physicality. I prefer to have offensive guards that throw people around and a center that's not going to get hurt, that's personally what I like. That's kind of something I do miss for Connor Williams. That's something he brought that I really do miss, to be honest.
Yeah, true that. And we're going to miss that with Robert Hunt too. Robert Hunt was physical as hell.
Yeah. That's a good example. Definitely.
I don't know, man. It's just, dude, AJ McCarron is still playing football. He's in the fucking XFL.
He's actually decent in the XFL, to be honest.
Of course he's decent in XFL, but goddamn.
Go sit down, bro.
Go get his ass, dog, as a backup. Man,
I wouldn't mind because he does play with something that I was trying to talk about last night, and that's heart. Like I want a guy personally that is like the backup for the Bengals, man. You know who I'm talking about,
dude?
That
other, not dude, I love Jake Browning. Jake Browning, yes, go give me Jake Browning, bro.
Give me that kind of a backup, and I'm set, bro. I just need that kind of
serious, bro. I like Jake Browning. I like how he plays football. I like how he, dude. If that guy was available, get him. If by some reason, because he was the third quarterback on the depth chart, they've got that other Allen behind whatchamacallit, Burrow there. He was the third guy on the depth chart. If that guy gets cut, which I doubt it, I would cut that Allen dude 10 times over fucking Browning right now if I was the Bengals. But if he gets cut, go get him. Cut whatever fucking bubble guy you got to grab his ass at 53-man roster cuts. Because I think he's got a little bit of something in him. And I don't know how he would fit in this scheme, but if he could adjust it any bit into this scheme, that's a solid backup to hold down the fort if Tua gets – I don't know, his finger jammed on his throwing hand and is going to be out 2-3 weeks, right? I don't need Tua pushing through injuries because I need him in the playoffs as healthy as humanly possible. That's the facts. And in the season, if the Dolphins are, 3-4 games over 500, come week 7 or 8 or whatever, and he goes down for 2 or 3 games, I need a dude to hold down the fort, maybe squeak out a game or two, right? I don't have any faith that Skylar Thompson and Mike White's holding down shit if Tua goes down. They can't hold Tua's jock right now, bro, and that's bullshit. And it's not about competition for Tua, which, we could talk about that later. But I definitely need better out of this football team. Sackman says bring in Reed Sinnett. Is he even playing football anymore? Good Lord. Let me know in chat, guys. What who are we bringing in as a backup? We're clearing the backups right now. Everybody gone. Who coming in this month gonna help us out? Who's the backup quarterback you guys want? Do you want Ryan Tannehill? Is there another option? Ric Flair? Hell yeah. Woo! Damn, Raph, you're going to get Ric Flair's old ass up in here? Don Strock? God damn it. These fucking chat. Thank you, Will. Will Levis is the starter, Scorpion, for Tennessee. I would like Will Levis. Woo! This fucking chat. Of course, they're going to throw around dumbass names and shit. They're like, yeah, bring in the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
Bring in Chris Benoit. Damn. Malik Willis. Is Malik Willis even available? Cleo Lemon. Come on, bro. Sam Howell. All right. Sam Howell might be an option.
Sam Howell was the guy that I mentioned earlier. I wouldn't mind trading for him. He plays for Seattle. They have Geno Smith over there. Do they really need a Sam Howell?
Yeah, they do, because Geno Smith runway is a lot shorter than Sam Howell's. And if I'm Seattle, I'm keeping Sam Howell in there and looking to pivot to him over freaking Geno Smith. If Warren Moon, all right, word. Damn. Jeez. Thanks for all the great suggestions, chat. Way to dude, this fucking chat, bro. Thanks. Appreciate y'all. Glad we have the most educated. Look, fucking Miss Eccentric Gnome said Goldberg. Jeff George, Slim Shady from Shake Money, aka the freaking fans. Dusty Rhodes. Now we're just naming fucking wrestlers. Smartest fans on YouTube here at the Finn's Tailgate. Done.
I got two names for you, El Cap. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I got two names.
Okay.
Gardner Minshew, I would consider, and because he's a good backup. And the other person that I would consider is Joe Flacco.
Old man Joe Flacco. That's
just
actually a good
season. Just for this season.
Actually, damn, Joe Riss said Barron Trump. What the fuck? Adam Sandler was a QB. Yeah, he was QB in that movie. What was the movie? What was the movie, Color?
With who?
With Adam Sandler as the quarterback. He went to prison. It was a remake from the Burt Reynolds movie.
Oh, Longest Yard, maybe?
Yep, thank you. Longest Yard, thank you. And then who said, somebody said something. Keanu Reeves from The Replacements, Raph. CJ Beathard. All right, okay, that's actually a decent suggestion.
Really?
I did like the Gardner Minshew, but I don't think Gardner Minshew's going anywhere. He's the backup in Indianapolis still, right?
Like every one of these guys are the same as we got.
I got it. Are they though? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. No, I don't know. Willie Beeman.
I think people are getting way too up in arms over like a preseason game. I mean,
oh no, Color. I think you're not getting in arms enough. That's what I think, Color.
Really? Y'all really think that it would have looked different? I'm not talking to see. This is the problem people have. When I ask this question, everybody's going to imagine all of our starters and the first team playing. Okay, but don't imagine that. Imagine this. Imagine Tua was the quarterback the other night with that personnel.
Tua would have torched their ass, dog. I'm sorry. I know it's that personnel. I still think.
You know how I know it's not true? You know how it's not true? How? Because our personnel the other night was the equivalent to the personnel we had in the last two games last season. So we saw how that went with Tua.
Not really, because he had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
No, but isn't that the excuse? We had all these injuries.
So that's the excuse by some people, not the excuse from me. The offense failed us at the end of last season.
Right.
Not the injured defense.
Well, the offense failed us the other night.
Well, I mean, we did win, but yes, you're right. The quarterbacks failed us the other night. And I will say this. I just
don't see how it'd be any different. Maybe a little different.
Later, Raul. I don't know, man.
I just don't see how, like, other than somebody like a veteran that's been deep, like Flacco or Tannehill,
I will say this, right?
Like, I don't see how any of these guys that have been listed are any different than what we got.
Skyler did have like 6 or 7 drop footballs, right? And we
don't count drop footballs for Skyler. Remember?
I count everything, Color. It's the OCD. It makes me count everything. I've been counting this whole time. I don't have the OCD. Yeah, you know what?
I mean, I'm not trying to hype up Skyler and Mike White. I'm simply saying all of these names that everybody has on their mind is no different. The end result's no different. Our season's over, right? Because all I've heard all day today is Tua is the only one that can run this system. Well, if that's the case, what does it matter?
It matters that in the couple game samples that I might need someone to hold it down, Color.
But
that's why
nobody believes they can.
Well, again, also to that point,
a person can't say Tua is the only one that can run this system.
What's the
job?
I
think this guy over here can hold it down for a couple games.
Well, if they can't run this, okay, so you're saying Tua is the only person on Earth that can do this.
On Earth,
system.
Yes, that's the only thing I've heard on Earth. Well,
they're fucking retarded because go look at Brock Purdy running a absolutely similar style system.
Brock Purdy's not available though.
I got you, but to say he's the only person on Earth, I could say, a la Brock Purdy, you're a liar.
Okay,
so not you, but the person saying that, Color.
Out of the people that are available left on Earth, Tua is the only one.
Baker Mayfield could probably run the system.
Tell them that. Tell them that.
I would say that there's several quarterbacks trying to run this system and having varying successes from high school to the NFL.
I disagree with you.
For those people saying Tua is the only person that could throw balls to Tyreek Hill, you're a fucking dumbass.
Well, I'm just simply saying what the narrative is. If it wasn't the narrative, we would already have a sufficient backup.
Look, people, Tua got the bag. Tua is here for the long haul. You don't have to sit there and make up, things that he can't throw to anybody but Tyreek Hill anymore. You don't have to do that shit anymore, right?
That's what I don't understand.
Sting says
so. There's only one name we should even really be talking about, and that's Ryan Tannehill.
I think Scorpion Sting. I've a guy that watches the Big Ten because I'm a big Ohio State fan. I've watched pretty much a lot of games of Tua's brother. Nowhere compared to Tua.
Not even close.
He's more mobile, but he doesn't have the arm or the accuracy. He's kind of like a Justin Fields, a quarterback
on to two different teams tryouts and hasn't made a team yet.
Yeah. I mean, listen. Here's the other thing about the backup quarterback, right? Which, if you're paying a guy, a lot of times I like to have like a veteran in there, right? Because that's that bestowed knowledge. That's why Joe Flacco to me is very interesting. Because here's a guy I know can hold it down for a couple games. Here's a guy that I know is in the ear of my starting quarterback, giving him sound advice. Here's a guy that when he's running practices, will pick up an offense, know how to pick up the lingo, know how to be a professional, and know how to get the guys that are practicing behind the starters on the second team ready for football. That's what we're missing right now, because when I look at Skyler and I look at Mike White and I think of the system we're running, I don't see them operating it in any way, shape, and form, shading what Tua does with this offense. It looks different, and is that really the game plan? Tua goes down, we pivot the style of offense. That's a piss poor game plan. It isn't in the sense that that's kind of what happens, right? Tua goes down, he can't play the rest of the half. You put the backup in, you have him air this bitch out, right? But if you're going to come in the following week and go against an opponent that's going to watch Skyler and you go, all right, well, fucking do this and do that. If they run that system, we'll see if he can do it. And he can't. You know what I'm saying? Now you're just figuring shit out, or you're just flying by the seat of your pants. I don't need that in my life. This team has invested everything in this in this team we have currently right now.
Well, we got to come up with a serious name, Cap. Alexander's about to jump off a cliff, dude.
Alexander just
Relax,
made
Alex.
the suggestion that they should put me in as backup.
Or
he just
me,
said color.
Or me. Yeah,
color. Not me.
Put in color. You know what, Alexander? The problem with that statement is you're not wrong.
Yeah, color can.
I would literally make the fan base feel the same way as anybody else we brought in.
Listen, color can sling the shit out of the rock. He's a la Joe Color, and you guys can see that shit if you come and hang out with him at the games. So myself, I'm not a very good quarterback, and I'm an even worse wide receiver. But you put me in at linebacker or running back, I'll fucking make some moves, dog.
Yeah, I can't throw the ball, bro. I can play defense. I can definitely tackle, and I played corner in high school. So, yeah.
Yeah, the only other alternative is looking for some third guy at a team that's currently on another team that ain't going to make their squad. But again,
bro,
what are we talking about? We're talking about, like, I'd rather keep what we got.
Oh
Mac
God, here
in
comes this
chat
song here.
is on it, dude. I agree. We should have drafted Hooker last year, bro. Or Rattler this year. I would have been fine with both of those guys as backups.
Or,
Yeah, but if you
or how
draft-
about Milton? How about Milton? The Patriots take 2 quarterbacks and they still can't even decide.
I said Milton too, dog. I said Milton earlier.
Here's the thing that you have to remember, though. Like, where did Milton and Rattler get drafted?
That's right. They were 4th rounders, if I recall.
And that
correctly,
means
and
no
that means we were
right.
At,
And
yeah, I agree.
If I have to pick a backup quarterback versus a star running back, I'm picking the star running back. I'm sorry.
I get it, right? I get it. But like I'll tell you what. How about the Easy E draft with fucking Channing Tindall and everyone else?
There, I would have
everyone else that I can't remember from that fucking draft. The worst draft I've seen in a long time from Miami. You should have got somebody then. Right?
Yeah, that draft was absolutely garbage, bro. Oh my God. I will never forgive for that.
No, that was a terrible draft. And I know Channing Tindall had a sack in the preseason game, but that's not what I remember. I saw the sack, great, free rusher. You better get the sack, and he did. But
I mean,
his
you guys are forgetting that
he is a fucking liability, dog.
You guys are forgetting that we did bring in another quarterback. We've already cut him.
What about the UDFA fucking from UTEP that nobody fucking
that's what I'm
remember his
talking
name?
Okay, but my point is, like, we didn't, like, he never even saw any action.
Of course he didn't see any action. The guy literally is the 4th quarterback on a depth chart because we've got guys like Skyler and Mike White. The only reason he was brought in was for rookie minicamp to be the only quarterback there throwing footballs. They brought another guy in from South Florida, some high school guy throwing footballs around. I can't remember his name.
I got you, but what I'm asking is, how is that any different than? But how is that what you just said there? How is that any different than what the fans already feel about Skyler and Mike White?
Feeling again here. All right, Color. Now I'm gonna set this.
Well,
straight.
if we're in our feelings, that's what we're in, because
that's the bullshit I'm trying to stop, Color. Tired of these motherfuckers in their goddamn feelings about Tannehill or fucking Baker Mayfield or whomever fucking quarterback I suggest as a backup.
I wasn't in my feelings until everybody else got me in my feelings about it.
You're placating to the feelings of these fucking plebes, and I ain't gonna do it. Fuck these assholes.
Personally, quarterback play was the last thing on my mind the other night. They're the ones that got me in my feelings.
Color. Oh, okay. Well, they are kind of in their feelings, aren't they? A little bit. I'll tell you what, Color. Tell them how you really feel. That's what I want. I want turned up Color fucking getting in on their asses right now. God damn it.
I just don't understand why everybody's like, can't see what's right in front of their face, man. It's like, it's preseason. Like, when have either of these guys, well, Mike White has with the Jets, but when have either of these guys been the number 1 quarterback all week with a real game plan? Not vanilla preseason. Not we're handing the ball off to Jalen Wright for half the game. None of that.
Turn up, Color. Tell these
not every single starter we have on our team is in street clothes. Every single one. It's not as if Skyler or Mike even had pieces of good players on their offensive line.
The offensive line and protection wasn't the problem.
But that's mostly my point.
I would say the drops are more of a problem than the O-line.
My point is, guys. Nobody on that field was a number 1 guy. Nobody. And if you think, okay, we might have scored 27 instead of 20 if Tua was there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think that we were going to put up 40 points in a preseason game with those players, and all you do is change out the quarterback for Tua, you're freaking delirious. Now, if you want to trade out everything like you're already doing in your mind, then yes, we would have destroyed that team the other night with our first team. But we wouldn't have done it with that squad and Tua at quarterback, no different than we would have had with Mike White or Skyler the other night. And if you think we would have, then you fundamentally aren't watching what you're looking. Like, you literally aren't taking it for what it is. A vanilla preseason game. And you can go through and nitpick all the mechanics and it doesn't matter if it's vanilla because we can see how he throws. We can see his decision making. We can see all that stuff without it being the first unit. Yeah. Which ain't much different than our first guy.
Damn, color
ain't no different than the guys on the list of everybody that's available.
Mm.
It just ain't no different. I don't even know why the debate's even happening. If there was any debate, we would have brought in somebody a long time ago. We wouldn't be sitting 3 weeks before the season after our first preseason game going, oh, we don't have a backup quarterback. So y'all could either trust Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel and the quote-unquote process, or you can get all up in arms about our backup quarterback and like, I don't know, give yourself hives or something.
Well, here's a suggestion
I'm going to get hives, Color. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get hives because I'm sorry. This is, we haven't been in this situation in a long time as Dolphin fans. And I understand that we're up in air about 3 weeks before the season start. I get that. But in this situation, we've signed our quarterback to a long-term contract. We've signed our receivers. We've brought in all this depth. I just want to put icing on the cake to make sure there's a plan in case shit don't work. That's all.
And that's fair. All I'm saying is the plan is the same thing it is with Tua. The team needs to step up and help the quarterback. A la quit dropping the damn football.
Okay, that I can understand. I get that. Brennan, what's his name? Brilliant Sanders.
If we take all this stuff away, none of this is as bad as we think it is, dude.
I see what you're saying. I get it.
When is the team going to step up for our backup? No matter who the backup is. The reason our season is over if Tua goes down is because our team won't step up for the backup.
Damn. Well, I think what the Dolphins should do is only carry one quarterback on 53 roster cuts, cut both backups, and take up both spots for other position groups. O-line and DBs is where I would go with it.
Color, can I ask a question? Is there a scenario where maybe the quarterback, regardless if he's the first, second, or third string quarterback, sometimes have to do something to show that, the team that, hey, I need, entice them to want to step up the way you're talking about?
You mean like millions of dollars in an NFL contract?
No, I'm not talking about that. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, how do I explain
to do?
That's not what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes players have to lead, and sometimes when they lead, right, they get players around them to play above the means of what they can, right? And maybe it could be as little as, some of the things that quarterback does behind the scenes, not necessarily on the field. Maybe
talk to him, Molly.
Maybe that person
disagree with you. You're just explaining.
Let me
land, Color.
Maybe that quarterback, Skylar Thompson or Mike White, need to start talking more. Maybe they need to start opening their mouth and saying, hey,
maybe we need to know their feelings, Color. Maybe I need to know Mike White and Skylar Thompson.
Quiet and sitting down while Tua's taking the lead, and they're not showing that they deserve the extra play from the other players. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Good point, Ali. Good point.
You mean like putting the ball right on the target 3 times in a row for your receiver to drop?
Yeah, maybe they need to step up and start yelling at people. Color.
Yeah, what happens if they do?
I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't really seen Skylar or Mike White yell at people before.
I don't understand why it's incumbent on one man Okay, when you're talking about a guy that obviously wasn't good enough to be QB1, so yeah, all of the stuff you're talking about is probably true, Ali. That's why it's incumbent upon the team to step up for their backup.
I don't think any man needs to step up for anyone other than his damn self, dog. Like that's being self-accountable, right? They need to step up and stand on business,
that, but
dog.
so the guy, so Skyler just stands there and with his finger up his butt.
Maybe. maybe that's why he's slinging the rock the way he is. Got stink finger on that thing. Well, you know what?
All I ever see when Tua goes down is the entire team bailing with little injuries and whatever else.
Oh shit!
That's all I ever see.
Oh,
as soon as the number one goes down, the entire team bails.
Yeah, they do. Color's right. Tua goes down. The whole team's like, I don't play for anybody but Tua.
And I could even say it don't even have to be the quarterback going down. Oh, the temperature drops below zero, and the entire team bails. We got a couple injuries going into this playoff game. The entire team bails.
So
Isn't
hold on
that
a second.
what everybody's been saying all off season?
Now, wait a second, Color. The thin man in chat says something. Tannehill is a jinx. Every QB he backups gets injured. Ooh.
See, that's somebody giving me a fair reason why not. Don't even bring Tannehill near the building.
Don't bring him in here. Tua's gonna go down, bro.
At least something.
That's true. That's a fact.
Damn. Listen, this is sports talk. I believe in the jinx. All right. Fuck you, Tannehill.
That's fair. The best take I've heard so far. That's
definitely fair.
Yeah, that's a fair
there's a
take.
Player I thought about. You were talking about XFL because you brought up McCarron and stuff, right? There's a player that I actually like, and I know he got a tryout with the Vikings, but I don't know what came about of it. Jordan Ta'amu, he was the player of the year quarterback for the DC Defenders. He played at Ole Miss, and at Ole Miss, he looked pretty decent. He played in the SEC. I actually kind of like him. He's very mobile. Actually, I mean, not. I know this is bad to say because I believe he is from Samoan descent. So he resembles Tua in his play a lot. Not trying to make a thing of that, but I'm just saying,
back out of that one, dog.
Well, I'm just saying that he looks like a more mobile Tua in my opinion, with his style of play.
Shit, hell yeah, dog! Bring me that.
I have to check the accuracy. That's the only part I'm not sure of. But in XFL, he looked pretty decent. In the highlights, he looked.
So here's the thing, right? Dolphins fans alike. Tua goes down, season's cooked, right? Right? Which is why if we were going to choose one or the other, Skyler or Mike White, I say take Skyler because at least you have to see what this young guy has, right? All the more reason why I think we should have drafted a young guy to then see what the hell he's got. Right. And Jose with the $5 donate says for Color yelling at us instead of you, meaning me. Because Jose had a fucking comment earlier. I'll pull it up. He goes, Color, you have no one to blame but Capitan himself. This talk about backup quarterback. Look at the title of the show for tonight. Stop yelling at us and yell at him. That shit is funny. That shit is funny, bro.
I mean, it ain't no use yelling at Capitan. You know, I mean,
nah, you can't yell at me, dog. I'm too fucking nimble. I know how to shake it, move, watch out. I know how to get out this bitch. I'll blame that shit right on TD83, and he'll be yelling at him in chat in no time.
Oh my
god! I
god!
wish everybody make up their minds. Do we care about the backup or not? If we care, then
I care.
We should have been talking about this months ago.
Color, I care about the motherfucking towel boy on this football. Everything's got to be elite.
But Color, at this point, there's only two positions on this team that I have question marks at. One is guard, obviously, right? And the other one, because we thought it would be safety, but it really isn't because McMorris showed up, right? And we have other players that showed up there, so we're okay. And the only other position is backup quarterback.
Okay, but did you see that left guard? Did you see the left guard last night? Did you
Which
see the
one?
left guard last night that gave up a
Which
block
one?
and got Skylar creamed?
Was
That was
that
Jesse Davis
Driscoll?
trying out for the team, man. That's what happened. It was Jesse Davis. No,
That was number 71, Keon Smith, who got injured.
Oh yeah, Smith.
He played guard.
He's out.
I thought he was playing. Oh man, maybe he did play guard.
So you said that there's two holes left that concern you: guard and backup quarterback.
2 holes.
And I think guard may just take care of half of that backup quarterback problem.
There's actually 3 holes. If
that's
you
all
want
I'm
to be
saying.
real.
What's the third hole?
Never mind.
I know what you're talking. Oh man,
shit, dog. Well, you know what?
I mean, I know what Skylar's shortcomings are. The guy is obviously don't have his head is like not in it as far as like being a leader.
I just don't think he can. I don't think Skylar, number one, leadership. That's number one. I don't think Skylar has the ability to operate this offense in that 3-step, 4-step, 5-step drop in the scheme of that, reading it and doing it all in the blink of an eye. I don't think he's got that process power. So I don't know if he needs to, go to Intel, free plug to Intel and get upgraded on his processing power or something. But damn, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, to be 100% honest, what
a comment color by Pick 9. What is that? Trensnor?
Sam Elliott. Damn, that's
his color sounds like Sam Elliott.
To be 100% honest, color, if you grew your hair out and you grew the stash, you would look like Sam Elliott.
Bro, you grow that fucking Sam Elliott worm stash and you'll be, ladies, look out. Look out, ladies.
I've been told that before, though. It's like
you should grow that shit out, color. I would like to see that.
Summer's almost coming.
Yeah,
it's getting warm.
Color, I'll be there in a minute.
Keep going, color. I want to hear it.
Go ahead.
That's the only one I got right off the top of my head.
Give me something from Tombstone.
That's what I just did.
I know, but give me like
getting warm. Come on, Wyatt. They're breaking the law.
give me a not now, Wyatt.
Not now, Wyatt.
Yeah, when he was shot and bleeding, his brother's bitching at him. He's like, God damn it, Wyatt, not now. Fuck yeah. All right.
Somebody get that dog out of here.
How about the Big Lebowski? Sometimes they eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you. Give me that one, color.
Trouble with doing a Sam Elliott impression is he really doesn't say much in his movies.
Oh my God.
That's
look at Anthony Mazzano's comment. Color needs to get a job as both an announcer or doing ASMR. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about the ASMR is pretty easy to do. I just got to figure out a subject I'm interested in.
Yeah, and Newfoundland, yes, Mike White and Skylar Thompson don't seem capable of operating this offense, and that's kind of where I'm at with it, right?
You know what it is? I don't think
has to pivot to an ideology and a way in which they play the game. That's learning 2 offenses.
No, bro. Let's be real. Let's be real. Both quarterbacks are capable. That's not the problem. The problem is will. They have the skill, they don't have the will. And that's the reality of it. You look at Brock Purdy, right? That guy had will through the roof. He worked so freaking hard, right, to be ready on day one. It showed as soon as they put him into the game. Never played a snap, and then look what happened. Right? You look at the guy like we talked about earlier, Browning, the guy from the Bengals. That guy has massive will, bro. Will and heart. We need quarterbacks that have fucking will here. That's the problem.
Couple donations coming in here. Kevin Lee says, El Capitan and Panel, what do y'all take on Mike White? He looks like crap. Tua can't go down because remember Miami is 2-8 with the backups last 4 years.
Right.
That's terrible. That is
right.
You're right.
Which one of them guys is gonna on the list is gonna make it better than 2-8? Besides Ryan Tannehill.
I don't know, but Jess, to the color AMSR fund.
Thank you, Jess.
Yeah, could Jess thinking about Color with that sweet, sweet voice of his. Holy shit! Color's got.
Should I go with Roman history? Like,
yeah, do the Roman history.
452 AD.
Do it. Wait, Colors, don't stop. Hold on,
I don't have no material.
Color, just tell me what I'll tell you what, Color. When the Romans got attacked by the Carthaginians, and they came up and linked up with the barbarians across the Caucasus Mountains and invaded. Look at me fucking knowing my fucking history. Or I could
go with Caesar at the Rubicon, you know.
There you go. Give me Caesar at the Rubicon.
44 BC. The Rubicon. Caesar. I can't,
all right,
man. I gotta have some material to read.
Listen, Jess says she's a history teacher. She's so ready for this, Color.
Right.
All right. So, Color, explain to me how the Carthaginians took over Rome there for a brief period, and how they came from North Africa, took the long route through the mountains, in which the Romans never thought to protect themselves from the treacherous mountaintops, because they just assumed that no one was ever going to come through the mountains, especially in the north. Much less with elephants. And that was the crazy part. They came through the mountains, the Carthaginians, when they linked up with the barbarians. They came through the north, gathering up allies all along the way, going around the Mediterranean Sea to come in and attack during winter from the north. No one could ever see it coming.
They also gathered up a bunch of Gallic and Celtic and Germanic tribes on the way to help them.
Mm-hmm. Give us
Carthaginian to come in to be a backup quarterback for us. So, what you just told me, gathered allies and in the winter and attacked in the north and shit. Yeah, that's exactly what I need at backup quarterback.
And you know what else?
I need a Carthaginian as my backup quarterback is what it fucking sounds like, bud.
You know what else is fascinating?
This is your fault for us getting derailed. Thanks a lot. Go ahead.
See, everybody always assumes that Hannibal Barca died like every other revolutionary, right, against Rome. He didn't actually die after all that. He lived out and died of old age in Greece somewhere as a fugitive.
Huh. All right.
He lived on the Italian peninsula for years after all that happened, and they didn't kill him. You know what I mean?
What was the name of that leader that because his father lost to Rome when they came across?
Yeah, that's Hannibal Barca.
That's right, and his son is the one that then went around and did all that.
Hasdrubal was the father. Hannibal is the son.
Okay, so Hannibal, give me the tale. AMSR of Hannibal and the treachery that he had to go across, and describe the brutal winters after.
It was a cold, icy winter in the Italian Alps. The Dolomite Mountains raised high into the sky. Hannibal looked on at the task before him, and he said, "Rome, you're mine."
Yes, I fucking love it, dude. Color, we might have to make this happen. I'm gonna get Color to do history, and maybe we can get some kind of a AI generated cartoon imagery put behind this. This sounds like a hit, bro.
I could definitely
give us Genghis Khan. Give us Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan is kind of a complex character. See, Raphael says Genghis Khan was color commentary's second cousin.
Well, to be honest, Genghis Khan might be right, because that guy
Raphael Courtright might be correct, because in a recent study done to break the human genome, we have discovered that no less than 80% of the entire world can be traced back to Genghis Khan.
That's crazy. That is no bullshit. In fact, still today in Asia, babies are born with the blue bottom. That is the birthmark of Genghis Khan.
Oh, really?
And they call it, yeah. So this reminds me off El Cap's "'Tis the Night Before Christmas." You like that shit? Yeah, hell yeah.
Maybe I'll do it next year. We'll do. Yeah. We'll write up something different.
Hell yeah. Color, maybe I'll come and be there with you, and I'll be like a fucking elf or some shit. Maybe we'll do a full fucking thing on that. Yeah,
I can even do cosmology. You know.
There you go. Just Jess, just so you know, as a history teacher, Color could talk history infinitely. Infinitely, he could talk about history stuff.
I know
So
Jess and I got a hold of history space or something.
that would be pretty dope. Fuck a history space. You should host a history show.
We won't get many listeners, but
I don't give a damn. Put it on YouTube, bro. I'll put it on and we'll take the audio, and then I could have HB rip the audio and put it on something. Maybe we could put something together. Who knows?
see, she being, I think she might be in education, so she's definitely like more structured than I am when it comes to talking about history. So she would provide that balance. You know, I just go off the rails and tell you what I heard. You know what I mean? What I learned.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's the reason that I've told Ali this before. It's the reason I can't really get into shows like Game of Thrones, because all of the themes that they present in Game of Thrones, like, that's real human history. And to me, there are so many real stories in real human history that are far more fascinating. Like, why haven't they ever made a
dragons movie? Color? There's no dragons. That's
right.
That's
but why haven't they ever made a movie about Jedefre from Egypt, or Carthage or whatever, wherever he was from back then? Like, there's characters in history that did weird and great things that we've never even heard of. They can make way more movies, like way better than that.
Yeah.
People wouldn't even know it was history. They wouldn't even know they were being fed history.
Color. Hollywood likes to steal reality from history and implement it into fiction to then confuse.
Like, in other words, why the Game of Thrones when you can just do a movie on the War of the Roses? It's the same thing, except it actually happened.
I don't know. See what I mean? Just this guy can go on forever on some bullshit.
Well, matter of fact, they did a documentary series about the War of the Roses, and they called it The English Game of Thrones. That was the name of the documentary.
So, Kevin Lee asks, y'all think Tua and the starters play Sunday? I don't know. It's the last home game of the preseason. I got to imagine you would rather it be home cooking. And it's probably safer than playing them in the last preseason game, in which there could be guys out there literally killing and dying for a roster spot, looking to take a big shot on a Tua Tagovailoa.
This might be the week to knock the rust off for sure. This might be.
I think if they play at all, if Tua plays at all, this would be the week. I do not want to see him in that final preseason game.
And it really is only to knock the rust off. You don't want Tua being cold turkey on against Jacksonville. You know what I mean? Just don't.
I think he plays one or two series, to be honest. I think that's basically what you'll see.
There's only so much you can simulate in practice. You really got to get in there. That's what the whole reason I wanted to see Jalen Wright last night, because we just didn't know until he really started hitting a line that was trying to stop him. You know what I mean? And I'm quite happy with the results, I might add.
Truth be told.
4.5 billion years ago.
So if Color does a Christmas special,
and everything that we have ever known in this world came from that speck of dust.
Color mentioned that he might do the Christmas special this year. Well, if that's the case, this should be the thumbnail.
Army and Sam Elliott,
dude. What the hell did you get that in such short notice, bro?
I want to know what the
hold on a second, hold on.
How
the fuck did you get that so quickly, bro? What the fuck?
I have a special skill of finding shit on the internet as quickly as possible.
I gotta know what.
Bro, I'm dead ass. Ali will grab some of the most obscure shit off the internet.
I want to know what the prompt looked like that you wrote into AI for that, like an army of Sam Elliott's with Santa hats on.
Is breaking up, Ali?
I know he's not breaking up. I think it's you, but I just Google searched Sam Elliott Christmas, and it was the very first image that came up.
Oh wow! It's a Sam Elliott Christmas.
Damn. Color, take over the show. Cap left, and I gotta check on my kid.
Too late. Oh, by the way, I don't know if the person's listening, but I had a random phone call today that was supposedly a wrong number.
Mm.
And next thing you know, we're like talking down the road and exchanging names and shit. And I'm like,
What was her name?
Eileen.
Oh
And I'm
shit!
thinking, but after I got to know her a little bit, I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, maybe because it was a random wrong number, but I'm sure they do that too. So I'm thinking I think that somebody might be attempting to catfish me. So I wanted to let everybody know. So I'm going to go through the process
Hell yeah, Color.
and
You need
carry
to
you all along right
docu-series
with
this
me. So the
catfish.
person thinks that they're catfishing me, but I'm in fact catfishing them.
Yeah, and we're gonna catch it all on film for the YouTube audience over here.
Right,
So
right.
good luck, catfish.
37 years old, so there's no entrapment type thing going on. This ain't no sting or nothing. 37 years old, made that clear. But the picture she sent was maybe a little younger than 37. So I think as soon as I thought, wow, this person's probably trying to catfish me.
Or
steal a bunch of money or something.
she heard that soothing Color voice, and she's thinking, "This guy's packing. I got to see what this is. I got to see what's on the other side of this shit."
Oh
Right?
no, it was a text wrong number. It wasn't a phone call.
Then yeah, you're getting catfished. That
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. But it was like, oh, I was looking for whatever the other name was. Like, all right.
So all right, never mind. You know who would love this tale? Well,
Lives in Los Angeles from Singapore. I'm like, oh yeah.
You know who else does this
This ought
for
to be
fun?
fun.
Tonk does this shit a lot for fun. He's always doing that shit for fun. And like,
well, what clued me in was, oh, do you use Telegram? And it was like, there are 1,000 other ways you can communicate with me rather than trying to push me to use Telegram.
Yeah, the fucking,
and we all know who Telegram's owned by.
The Indian guy that was texting to you that had to had to make it into English. It didn't translate as well as he had hoped. Use Telegram? Sure. Yeah, fucking between that and carrier pigeon, that's how I keep up on everything.
Well, the cool thing about being poor is that you don't have anything for anybody to steal. So all the people trying to scam you just get fucked. I play the game with him. It's like, yeah.
Wait a second. Was it Telegram or Telegraph? Because I guess that's an OnlyFans thing.
Well, Telegraph, I thought there was two different ones, but it's Telegram is the app.
Maybe they were trying to do Telegraph. What? There's an app for Telegram? You know what? Yeah, Telegram, I've had enough of this. That's enough.
Like it's encrypted.
Keep us posted. Keep us posted on the.
Oh, I'll definitely. Yeah, I mean, if it's a person that just needs a friend, I mean, hey, I'll keep going. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Tell her to sit.
Just the signs are there. You know what I mean?
She got any naked pictures?
Not yet.
You want to buy
but
some?
I'm supposed to get in a conversation after the show to get to know each other a little more.
You missed my joke, Color. Do you want to buy some?
Oh, right. I might need to borrow some from you, Cap. Yeah.
Oh, I got you, dog. Word up. Well, I think this was a good show. I think we covered a lot of bases, honestly. We talked about Ryan Tannehill going to be the next backup quarterback here in Miami. It's certain now. That's it. Ask Color if we're going to bring in anybody, it's got to be him. That's number one. Number two, center position. Apparently, it's just nobody gives a shit. Connor Williams goes to
it'll be all right. Tua will just walk up to the ball and pick it up off the ground.
Yeah, Tua's just we're gonna go centerless, right? We got a Tungavaloa on this team. We touched on some history. We made the astute job finding mission for Color. He's gonna do. I keep wanting to say BTSM, but that's not it. That's not it. Color's whipping bitches, dog. I can't believe it. It's crazy. He's got a whole chest full of gag balls and whips, bro. It's a fucking
ASMR is like them channels where you got like the hot chick shopping all night. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, with that kind of talk, El Cap, that puts a whole new meaning to coffee and a cup of Color.
Hell yeah. Pull up the image, Ali. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Coffee, color, 2 cups.
Oh my god. Color in 2 cups.
2 cups of color. Gross.
Maybe that's the show will be called when I
color.
drink the
Honestly,
goat turd coffee.
2 cups of color is a fucking fire name for a show, bro. 2 cups of color.
Color's gonna go on OnlyFans right now and create a channel called Color and Cream.
Hey, he's already. Oh, gross. You know what? Color's already got the Telegram app. He's half fucking way there.
I don't know, Lewis. I'm trying to figure it out myself, man. I think they trapped me. Somehow I feel trapped now, bro. I don't know, man.
All I know is we're pimping Color's ass up at this bitch right now between his sweet, sensual voice and all these bitches hitting him up from around the world.
That's going to be what I call my strain of marijuana when I grow it. It's going to be 2 cups, 1 color. It'll have orange hairs.
Yeah, it will. Oh, shit. This is why you guys subscribe to this show and listen on podcast networks and everywhere else. This is what y'all come here for. We know
the kind of stuff that we need to put behind the paywall in the future. You know what I mean?
It's going to be what gets us shut down.
When we're all snobby big wigs. Big time, everybody.
Yeah, we'll have to erase this from history.
Yeah.
But dude, Jesus Christ. Color Cream Network, gross. Oh,
yeah, it's a Ben and Jerry's flavor. Scorpion's got it. Color and cream.
Is it really?
No. That's what he's saying. It should be Ben and Jerry's flavor.
Gross, dude. Gross.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we got to get this OnlyFans. What is it? AMSR. I keep on again.
ASMR. I don't even know what ASMR stands for.
I know something with sound, right? I guess because they're always whispering. That's all I know. They just whisper.
I always thought it just meant hot chick shopping on Amazon while everybody feeds her money.
Oh my god.
That's what I thought it meant.
ASMR stands for autonomous sensory meridian response.
Jesus Christ. The fucking dumbasses that
do I have to have it at a certain frequency for it to put people to sleep?
You got to do it at
no. It gets kind of messed up. Listen to this. ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. It typically refers to the tingling feeling that travels from the head downward that someone experienced in response to certain...
You mean goose pimples?
Like the one that women get when they hear Sam Elliott talk.
Jess, give us a high five up in chat if it's fucking Colors on the money.
Or like the feeling men get when a British woman talks.
What are you talking about? Oi!
I'm not talking about a commoner. I'm talking about
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like,
that's
bitch, what'd you say?
That's cockney, bro. That's what that's called, man. That's not English.
No, it's not. That's the only English I know.
It's called cockney, eh? It's no English.
After the show, stay backstage. I gotta tell you a t-shirt that I'm working on now after tonight.
Fucking right. Hell yeah, dog. Again, and I'm gonna do a quick plug here. I'm gonna play the
Southern Belle.
The video.
That'll work too, Treasure. Sure.
Ali working on another banger for the TFTGnetwork.com. Guys, go to TFTGnetwork.com to check out all of our apparel. And here's the commercial.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
TFTGnetwork.com. Go check it out. Lou says he's always going to support, but he's out on the two cups in one color.
Yo, the end of that commercial is what it sounded
like. You say that
like.
now. You say that now, Lou, until you get that tingling feeling in your head and your ears and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Lou knows the tingling feeling. By the way, the end of that commercial is what it sounded like right before the Big Bang, 4.5 billion years ago, or 13.8 billion years ago. And by the way, who was it? Where is it at? Hold on, I gotta find this comment. Somebody said the Southern Belle does it for. Oh, it was Tresner. Mine would be a Southern Belle. And I think the accent, the dialect you might be referring to actually has a name. It's called Virginia Piedmont. And it sounds sort of like this. You want to go up to the floor.
I do declare.
You want to get up off the floor and walk through the door. I do declare. Yeah, that's Virginia Piedmont.
Yeah.
Actually, you know who did a really, really good
what sound I like? Silence. That's the sound I like, bro.
You know who did a really, really good imitation of that Southern Piedmont that you're talking about? Your doppelganger color.
Who's that?
You know who it is, Ernest.
Oh yeah. Oh, did he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His was more Kentucky.
No. It was Southern Piedmont, and you sound just like him, dude. It's not even.
Yeah, should.
I mean, it did run through like Georgia, like high Georgian and Louisiana. It ran all through there. It's the same accent that Doc Holliday had in Tombstone.
Great movie, by the way.
Play for Blood, remember?
Yes, Doc Holliday.
I'm your Huckleberry. By the way, in case y'all didn't know, a huck was the handles that the pallbearers used to carry a casket.
Teach him color.
So
it's Hucklebearer that he says.
He's saying, "I'll be your Huckleberry." He's saying, "I'll be your huck bearer."
That's right.
I'm gonna I'm gonna put you in the ground. I'm gonna be your huck bearer.
Yeah, now you finna know. That's all we got tonight, guys. I'm gonna see what dirty pictures Ali's got for us backstage. Go to tftgnetwork.com and see the next great t-shirt coming out here on the network. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, if you're listening on Twitch, Twitter, Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere else you can hear podcasts. Come over to YouTube, become part of the family, become a member, donate, join the subscribe, hit the notification bells, get to see the show that you're listening to, and meet all the characters we have here on the network. We have a great time doing it, and we want you guys to have a good time too. See, so we'll catch you guys next time, and go Fins.
Fins up.
I think.
Fins go. Fins up. Go Fins. Go Fins up. I go. Huh.